The appeal of essential oils is pretty undeniable, isn't it? They feel potent, natural, often really soothing, and they seem packed with anti-inflammatory potential.
Absolutely. They promise a lot, especially that natural element.
But, and this is a big but, for anyone who deals with sensitive, maybe reactive skin, that potency, well, it carries a genuine risk.
It really does. It's a double-edged sword.
So the question becomes, how do you actually harness the power of these extracts without triggering, a massive, angry red flare-up?
But that's the million-dollar question for sensitive types.
Our mission today, then, is to cut through some of the noise. We want to give you a deep, kind of technical understanding of the two non-negotiable safety pillars.
Which are?
Mandatory dilution, number one, and the 24-hour patch test, number two. We are focusing entirely on the why here. Why does this really concentrated plant chemistry demand such structure before it even touches a delicate complexion?
And that's absolutely the critical starting point, because we aren't just dealing with skin that's maybe a bit thin. We're often talking about a compromised skin barrier function.
Right.
Sensitive skin is inherently reactive. It's often characterized by that persistent redness, itching, sometimes burning, and dryness. It's like a canvas where the natural defenses are already running a bit low.
Makes sense. And what usually sets it off?
Well, these reactions are typically triggered by external forces. Things like harsh weather, UV radiation, or ingredients in everyday commercial products, fragrances, alcohol, certain harsh chemicals, stuff like that.
Okay.
And we also know emotional stress can be a really powerful systemic trigger for flare-ups, too. It links the skin right back to your overall well-being.
So if the skin barrier is already kind of compromised, why would we even think about introducing something as chemically powerful as an essential oil? It almost feels counterintuitive.
It does seem that way, but it's really a risk-reward calculation. It's based on targeted benefits.
Okay.
Essential oils are these concentrated plant extracts, and they deliver powerful antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial effects naturally. So and it's a big if we use them correctly, these properties can be profoundly helpful. They can help manage common reactive conditions like acne, eczema, general dermatitis. They can offer relief that synthetic compounds sometimes just can't match.
Okay, I see. And when we talk about starting points, specifically for sensitive skin, we aren't just saying grab any old essential oil, right? Our sources point to specific, milder options.
Exactly. You absolutely must be discerning. You have to be selective. We look for oils whose chemical makeup is known for being generally gentle.
Like which ones?
Think lavender. It's famous for its anti-inflammatory properties, plus its ability to soothe stress-induced reactions. That's a big one.
Okay, lavender.
And then there's chamomile, which provides incredible calming effects and helps reduce redness.
Chamomile. Got it.
And maybe rose geranium. It offers some antiseptic action, balancing properties. It can help manage oil production and certain skin concerns without totally overwhelming the system.
So those are kind of top candidates to even consider allowing into a sensitive skin routine.
Those are definitely the safer bets to start with, yes.
That makes perfect sense. But let's circle back to that concentration problem you mentioned. Okay, let's unpack this. Even if we pick the absolute mildest lavender available, the difference between that potent, undiluted essential oil and a properly prepared, safe solution. That's the key thing, right? That preparation prevents chemical damage.
It's probably the single most important lesson here. Undiluted essential oils aren't just potentially irritating. They carry a real risk of causing contact irritation or even chemical burns.
Ouch. Burns, really? Yeah. And this risk is amplified in sensitive skin because that compromised barrier function we talked about, it allows for higher and faster dermal absorption.
So it sinks in quicker and deeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The concentrated compounds like terpenes, they can basically bypass the skin's natural defenses and provoke an immediate, sometimes painful reaction. So dilution isn't a preference. It's really a necessary chemical buffer. It's mandatory. Okay, mandatory buffer. If dilution is the solution, the mechanical fix, how do we choose the right stuff to dilute these oils in? And what's the sort of technical mechanism? How does the carrier oil actually help?
Right. The carrier oil acts as a safe delivery vehicle. Our sources really emphasize trusted, gentle lipids. Things like coconut oil, almond oil, or even olive oil.
Okay, the common ones.
Yeah. And what's fascinating here is that these aren't just mixing agents. They do more than just spread it out. They actually slow the absorption rate of the essential oil.
Oh, interesting. How?
They're slightly occlusive. They create a kind of barrier on the skin that reduces the speed at which the essential oil can penetrate the epidermis, the top layer.
Ah, so it gives the skin's own defenses more time to cope.
Precisely. It gives the skin a fighting chance, you could say.
So the carrier oil doesn't just dilute, it actually controls the interaction rate. That seems crucial for reactive skin.
It's absolutely key, and this leads directly to the next point, which is the ratios, the dilution ratios.
Yes. How much essential oil to how much carrier oil?
Exactly. For normal skin, you might use a standard dilution, maybe 2%. But for sensitive or already reactive skin, the concentration must be lower. Significantly lower sometimes.
Lower is safer.
Much safer. We must choose those mild essential oils we discussed, the lavender, the chamomile, and use lower dilution ratios. Maybe 1% or even 0.5% to start. This guarantees a minimal amount of the potent compound is delivered per application. We're essentially maximizing the safety margins because sensitive skin just cannot handle the higher concentrations that others might tolerate.
Okay, so we've picked a mild oil. We've prepared this perfect low-concentration dilution. Let's talk application now. We've reduced the risk of that immediate chemical irritation, that burn potential.
Yes, we've addressed the irritant risk.
But we haven't really answered the question of specific, maybe longer-term reactivity, right? Like an allergy.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, dilution is about physical safety against, let's call it, a chemical burn or irritation. Step 2, the patch test, that's about personalized immunological safety. It's about checking for an allergic reaction.
Ah, okay. Immune system response.
Yes. You have absolutely no way of knowing beforehand if your specific immune system will flag a new oil, even a mild diluted one, as an allergen until you test it.
Makes sense.
That's why the patch test is so essential before you even think about any broader application, even with the mildest oil perfectly diluted.
But hang on. If oils like lavender and chamomile generally seen as safe, and I've already diluted them way down in a carrier oil, why do I still need to wait a full 24 hours? That seems like a long time. Why not just check in an hour or so, see if I turn red?
That's a really common question, and it highlights an important distinction: immediate redness or stinging. That's typically an acute irritant contact dermatitis.
Okay, the irritation we already talked about.
Right, that's the body reacting pretty much immediately to the chemical potency, even if it's diluted. The 24-hour test, however, is crucial because we are primarily screening for allergic contact dermatitis. ACD.
Allergic contact dermatitis.
Okay.
And ACD is what we call a delayed hypersensitivity reaction. Type IV hypersensitivity, technically.
Delayed, meaning your immune system needs time. Often many hours, sometimes up to a day or even 2, to process the new compound, decide it doesn't like it, and then launch an inflammatory response. The rash, the itch.
Ah, I see. So if I only check after an hour.
You might completely miss a serious allergic reaction that only really blooms 12 or 18 or even 24 hours later. That's why patience is absolutely paramount in this protocol. The 24 hours isn't arbitrary.
Okay, that makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Walk us through the exact process then. It sounds like it needs to be done precisely.
Absolutely. Precision is key for safety. So first step, as we've really hammered home, is always proper dilution. Never, ever patch test an undiluted essential oil.
Got it. Dilute first.
Second, apply a very small amount, like a drop or 2 of that diluted mixture, to a discrete, easily monitored area of skin.
Ours best.
The inner forearm is the traditional spot, or maybe behind the ear, somewhere you can easily see but isn't too obvious.
Okay, inner arm.
Third, and this is the most crucial part, you observe that specific area over a full 24 hours. You are actively looking for any sign of an adverse reaction.
What kind of signs?
Things like persistent redness that doesn't fade, any blistering itching that seems to increase over time rather than decrease, or any swelling in the area.
Okay, redness, blisters, itch, swelling.
Right. If the area remains completely clear and calm after that full observation period, then you've basically established a personal safety profile for that specific oil at that specific dilution ratio.
It really is about knowing how your specific skin reacts, isn't it? It's like a personalized risk assessment that respects how unique your sensitive complexion is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's entirely personalized.
Now let's flip the coin. What happens if we ignore all of this? What are the practical negative consequences of just skipping the dilution and patch test steps? Let's really put some weight behind this warning.
Okay. Well, if you skip these protocols, you're basically inviting trouble. You introduce both immediate and potentially long-term risk. The specific potential side effects mentioned in the source material are quite clear.
Such as?
You risk provoking severe allergic reactions, which could become systemic. You risk widespread skin rashes, which can be incredibly uncomfortable and hard to clear up. Or particularly if you're using an essential oil neat undiluted.
Which we now know is a definite no-no.
A huge no-no. You risk a painful irritation that really manifests as a chemical burn.
Oof.
And remember, sensitive skin often has tiny, invisible cracks or weaknesses in its barrier. An undiluted oil can easily exploit those weaknesses, leading to pretty severe localized inflammation and actual tissue damage.
That sounds awful. And if that adverse reaction does occur, say someone ignores the advice, applies it, and gets that burning, that escalating itchiness, what's the immediate action protocol? What should they do right away?
Immediate action is absolutely required. The oil must be washed off immediately and thoroughly. Use a mild soap and plenty of water to remove any residue.
Okay, wash it off fast.
And importantly, this isn't usually a sign to just try a lower concentration next time.
Yeah.
If the reaction is significant, definitely, if there's burning or blistering, further use of that specific essential oil should be avoided entirely.
Stop using it completely.
Yes, that irritation or reaction is the skin sending a very clear distress signal. Listen to it.
This just really highlights why our entire focus has to remain on starting with those gentlest EOs and applying that rigorous dilution and testing. It seems like the critical difference between maybe achieving a resilient, calm complexion.
Or creating a real medical emergency, potentially.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So maybe let's synthesize these critical safety steps again, just to be crystal clear.
Good idea. Let's recap.
Okay. For sensitive skin, step 1. You begin by carefully selecting known mild oils. Think lavender, chamomile, maybe rose geranium.
Mild oils first. Check.
Step 2. You must achieve proper dilution. That means using gentle carrier oils. Coconut, almond, olive oil are good choices, and crucially, focusing on the lowest safe concentration to start. Think 1% or less.
Dilute properly, low concentration. Check.
And step 3. You commit to performing the full 24-hour patch test before ever proceeding to broader application on your face or body.
The 24-hour patch test.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable. Check.
Those are the pillars. And it's also worth pausing just to remember that this is often part of a bigger, more holistic puzzle, you know?
How so?
Well, sensitive skin is often highly reactive to systemic issues, like stress. So managing stress, which we know is a major trigger for many people, often works hand in hand with the topical application of correctly chosen soothing essential oils. The physical and the emotional benefits can be really intertwined.
That's a great point. It's not just about what you put on your skin.
Not at all. And, you know, as powerful and wonderful as these natural extracts can be, our source material reminds us of a crucial final tip.
Which is?
Essential oils should always integrate into a carefully crafted overall skincare routine. They aren't a magic bullet on their own. And if you have underlying or chronic skin conditions like severe eczema, rosacea, persistent acne,
You really need professional guidance.
yes, never hesitate to consult a qualified dermatologist or a certified skincare specialist. You really need that medical or expertise to ensure your entire routine is both effective and, most importantly, safely tailored to your specific dermatological profile.
Excellent advice. So to wrap up, essential oils definitely offer some profound anti-inflammatory and soothing properties. That potential is real.
It is.
But the absolute key to unlocking these benefits safely, especially for sensitive skin, rests entirely on that careful safety implementation, the dilution and the testing. These protocols basically transform what could be an unpredictable, potent chemical into a controlled, potentially gentle remedy.
Well put. Control is the goal.
Now, for one final provocative thought for you, our listener, to perhaps mull over, we talked briefly about how certain oils, like rose geranium, can help regulate sebum oil production, which is important for sensitive skin that might also be prone to acne.
Right, balancing oil production.
So, if the goal is often to balance and regulate oil production for a healthy, resilient complexion, what does the skin's reliance on the right type of oils, whether from our own sebum or carefully chosen external ones, tell us about the often overlooked skin microbiome?
Interesting angle.
Does it suggest that this microbiome, this ecosystem on our skin, also relies on specific lipids, specific oils, to maintain its own health and harmony? It implies that these safety protocols, the dilution, the right carrier oils, they aren't just about avoiding burns. Maybe they're also about maintaining that delicate microbial balance on your skin surface.
That's definitely food for thought. The interplay between lipids and the microbiome is a huge area of research right now.
Something worth exploring on your own, perhaps. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope you feel thoroughly informed now and maybe a bit more confident to start your safe essential oil journey, if you choose to.